Okay, so why don't we get a question here from Rudy Mayagotia.
Hello, my name is Rudy. The question I have for Mr. LaRouche is your thoughts on the latest internet's phenomenon that seems to be going crazy. Is the Kony 2012? If you have any thoughts on that.
On what?
It's titled Kony 2012. It's about the LRA, the Liberation Army Front in Africa.
Oh, this whole thing is an evil mess. There is actually a plan of genocide. Now, to be frank about this, the first thing you got to say, when you say that, you have to say that, first of all of Africa today is essentially, directly or indirectly, a British colony, which is conducting the equivalence of mass murder, genocide on that continent. There are the powers which are nominally in charge as colonial powers over the nations of Africa. But in fact, the whole combination is a British colony. And it's a British colony which is engaged in genocide against the peoples of Africa and has been ever since about 1892 or so forth. It's continued to the present day. And this is the way you've got to look at it. We do have a policy of genocide which is run under the British Empire, and you have people like Wall Street crowd people who are actually expressions of the British Empire and have been ever since our liberation, that the Wall Street crowd of Aaron Burr and Company were actually British agents and always have been. It was Aaron Burr and Company which destroyed our national banking system, as other things. So we have these forces, they're there. And this is a problem. This is exactly the problem. And the weakness here is the fact that we are not sufficiently united as a people, together with people of other nations who instinctively will agree with our purpose in this matter. And we're sitting divided, allowing ourselves to be divided against one another in rivalries over economic issues and other issues, when we, the people of this planet, have essentially common interests as common interests of nations, in order to enhance one another for the benefit of each of us. We are a planet of nations, of peoples and nations. We are different nations and we are different peoples in some respect. But that's only a simple way we organize our affairs. And we need our respective independencies in these matters. But we also have to have our equal solidarity with one another in these matters. It's by allowing ourselves to be divided by an imperial force centered in the British Empire that we allow ourselves to be subjected to the kinds of things we're subjected to now. We need a presidency restored, which will not be Obama, because that's the worst possible thing. And none of the Republicans are any good for this thing at all. They're worthless. They're silly at best and nasty at worst. So we need to assemble ourselves, realize that we have to unite as citizens and with other nations with similar concern and similar devotions. We need to unite and take the country back and let other nations do the same for themselves with our cooperation. Otherwise, there's no solution. As long as we remain divided, as we're divided among special interests, so-called, as we're divided among nations, we don't have a chance. It's uniting around a program which is, in our case, our original Constitution, and going back to that. With that, we can now, I can tell you, I can assure you, I know it. I know how to do it. We can pull people together in this country. We just have to find the guts and the unity to do it. But we better do it soon.